Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So today I'm going to share with you and also giving you some input and insight about Unit 1 Study Skills, Note Taking and Note Making. And then also at the same time, I'm going to share something on dictionary skills. Okay, so what is it about note taking and note making? So note taking is merely a recording and it is passive. Okay, so meaning that when you are doing note taking, give me some minutes over here. So when you are doing note taking, you are actually just sit down, listen, and then you record the things. Okay, so it is called note taking. In note making, you have to assess, okay, the content of the information that you are listening to. You have to rethink whether the things that you have listened to is correct or are correct, okay, or accurate. And then you have to restructure the information because sometimes important points are not arranged accordingly in the listening tip script. So you have to listen carefully to each of it, and then you have to reorganize the flow or the structure of the information. Okay, note making meaning that it is an active action. So you have to listen and then jot down the notes at the same time. And it is best and suggested for you to use images and colors to further enhance your listening part. So when do we make notes? In the class, lecture, practical tutorial, okay, like you normally do. When you are doing any assignment, okay, essay or dissertation, you have to do listening as well. In the seminar or workshop, all right, and then in the discussion as well. And lastly, these are the things involved listening activity. All right, so when you are listening to this kind of activity, when you are in this kind of activity, you are doing listening. And of course, it requires you to do some note making and note taking process. Okay, additional one more point is on the field work, meaning that when you go to like a construction area, when somebody is giving you the information, so you have to listen to the information and then you have to jot down the notes. While watching as well, okay, let's say if I require you to go to certain website, watch a video, and then you have to pay attention to it, and then you have to jot down the notes. So some benefits and purpose of listening. Okay, right. When you are listening, when you are doing note taking and note making, you are actually being focused to the thing that you are doing. It helps you to organize the information. It saves time, of course. Okay, when you listen carefully, when you when you do note taking and note making, you are going to help yourself in the sense that you don't have to listen back to the recording, and you can just refer to the notes that you have gotten. It is an active part or active action, meaning that it helps you to stay awake. It helps you to concentrate, okay, on what you are supposed to do. And lastly, it helps you to remember what have been said. So here are some tips and strategies that you can do when you are doing note taking and note making. So let's say if you attend a lecture, right? These are the things that you can use to do note taking and note making, right? And these are the info or things that you acquire to do when you're doing note taking and note making. The same goes over here, right? When you are conducting a research, you have to highlight the information, put colors, exclamation mark, for instance, to make sure that this is an important thing and it helps you to further understand about the message. Okay, good notes are number one, of course, it is brief. Okay, keep it short and simple, KISS. Sequence in order of importance. So that's why some of the information are jumbled up in the listening. So you have to listen carefully, jot down the notes, and then you have to rearrange the information. It links with other facts. Of course, this is the thing. Let's say if you listen to a lecture, normally what are the points being presented are linked to each other. It should be visually attractive. Okay, maybe you can use highlighter. You constantly reviewed the content that you have gotten, and lastly, it is logically filed. So meaning that it is easily accessible for you later on. So some forms of note making, mind map, flowchart, and table. Okay. Normally, I'm sure that you are familiar with this part, mind map. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this. This is the origin of mind map, or the concept of mind map. So when you are doing mind mapping, you need to have the central idea. So this is called the central idea. And then you further enhance it by drawing branches, and it's supposed to be like this. These are the branches, and it leads to different ideas. Okay, so everything is connected to the central idea, and then each of the points over here you can further break it into several other branches. So this is an example. Okay, this is an example on flowchart. So there are three types of flowchart: relationship, organization, and procedural information, and lastly cyclical relationship. So this is, oh no, sorry. Before this, okay, what is the usage of flowchart? It shows about relationship between one point to the other, and then you are organizing the points accordingly. So flowchart is better when you are doing on procedural information, meaning steps by steps. Okay, and then lastly, it shows the cyclical relationship, meaning that from the beginning until the end, and then it goes back to the beginning part of it. So there are four types of flowchart: cyclical, linear, series of events, chain, and combinations. So this is a cycle flowchart, as you can see, from the beginning until the end, and it goes back to the beginning. Right, this is an example of a cyclical flowchart. This is a linear flowchart. Okay, it can be from top to bottom, from left to right. So example, left to right. So this is the beginning part, and this is the end part. Okay, this is a combination flowchart. Right, you can see linear, and then this is cyclical, and goes back to linear. Okay. Right, table. It is a pattern note strategies. It organizes materials and data. It is attentive, and it applies critical thinking. So whatever information that you put it inside, of course, it should be related to each other. And then this one is a bit tricky, meaning that you have to be very careful in finding the keywords to put in each of the table. So example of it, right? This is supposed to be pronounced as genre, okay? And that's it about note taking and note making. Okay, let's move to the next slide, which is on dictionary skills. So dictionary is not something new for you. I'm sure during your school days, you know about all the thick and heavy dictionary. And nowadays, we have the full access to the internet, and it is getting easier for you to find the meaning of the word. So you can go to Oxford Online Dictionary, for instance, or Merriam-Webster, and then from there you can find the meaning of the word or the similar words that you can use in the writing, for instance. So what is a dictionary? So according to Oxford Students Dictionary of English, okay, let me change it to over here. Right, it is a book that contains a list of the words in a language in the order of the alphabet, and that tells you what they mean in the same or another language. So over here, it means that it contains a lot of words. Okay, alright, so meaning that you can find many words in a dictionary, and that is the reason why in a physical dictionary it is thick. Okay, and it is arranged alphabetically, so from A to Z. And then lastly, you can find the meaning of the word in the same language, for instance, English to English or English to Malay. So here are some examples of a dictionary. I'm sure you are quite familiar with this kind of dictionary. So what are the functions of a dictionary? Number one, to find the meaning of the word. Okay, and then you need to, by using dictionary, you can also learn how to do pronunciation on the word. And yeah, nowadays it is getting easier because once you go online, you can just click on the word. Okay, for instance, the word comes together. I show it the example after this. Okay, comes together with the speaker function. You click on the speaker function, you can listen carefully to the pronunciation. Okay, and also you can also learn on how to do correct spelling. So there are American and British English way of spelling certain words, so you can refer to it. And lastly, it also helps you to understand to which part of speech that the word belongs to. Okay, is it a noun, a verb, a proverb, and such. So here is a guide to the dictionary on how to look for it. Okay, so you can go from head word, so meaning that the word itself, right? Pronunciation, part of speech, okay? So irregular form of the word, synonym of it, example sentence, okay? This is example of the usage of the word in that particular sentence. Usage note, idiom, meaning, and lastly phrasal verb. Right, for example, the word answerable here. So this is the spelling or the pronunciation. This is the spelling, the actual word, and this is the pronunciation. So it's quite difficult for you to read this, okay, to pronounce this because you are not familiar with the phonetics of this particular word. But nowadays, it is easier because you can just go to online dictionary and click on the speaker function, and you can listen on how it is being pronounced. So this is American English. It is an adjective, right? It is not before a noun, okay, for something having to explain or your actions to somebody in authority over you. So this is the explanation. Okay. Right. For example, this word, ground stroke. So this is how you're supposed to pronounce it. It is American English, stroke. Okay. It is a noun. Okay. In tennis, a hit that is made after the ball has bounced. The same goes over here. Trapezium. Trapezium. Okay, it is a noun, plural trapeziums. Okay, you put s at the end of it, or trapezia. Okay, so it is a geometry shape. British English, okay, Native American English, it is trapezoid. Okay, a flat shape with four straight sides, one pair of opposite sides being parallel and the other pair not parallel. Okay, so meaning in British English, it is called trapezium. In American English, it is called trapezoid. Okay, British English, American English. Alright, and then Oxford Advanced Learners Compass. Okay, this is basically if you bought a physical dictionary, it comes together with a CD, so you can install the dictionary in your computer. But nowadays, again, as I have told you many times, We have internet, and if you go online, you can find online dictionary, and it is easily accessible. Okay, another example of it, and that's it. So hopefully this thing is going to be some input or information for you and to get you equipped for your assessment next week. So I believe that's all. Thank you very much, and Assalamualaikum.